Morning, guys and gals. Froggy here. I got a new pressure washer. What do you think? I had previously an electric pressure washer, and there's nothing wrong with an electric pressure washer except for one thing. Well, a couple of things. You have to trail an electric cord behind you the whole time. And the other thing is they generally do not make as much power, the maximum PSI, pressure per square inch, and the gallons per minute. Usually they're maybe a half of those specifications that you're looking at right now. And I needed something bigger, more powerful, and also I'm going to be jetting out one of my sewer pipes, and the electric ones do not have enough power to do that. This one I think will. But that's another video. I'm going to get a jetting hose, and I will do a video separate from that. This is about assembling it, starting it up, put some gas in it, and maybe test it out on a little piece of driveway or something. So, you know, I love putting stuff together. So here we go. Let's open it up. This is a little bit heavy. It doesn't have any cutaway marks on the bottom of the box, so I guess I'm going to have to lift it out of there. Or I might lay it over on its side, but I think it actually has the motor oil already in the engine, so I'm going to try not to tip it around too much. Let's get some pieces out. Oh, we got register your product, emissions control, warranty statements. Now, I guess I'm not surprised there are emissions controls on small gasoline motors, but back in my day, there was not anything emission control on the gas motors. Anyway, I guess that's a good thing. A bunch of nozzles and nuts and bolts. This is to feed from a soap dispenser, feed it into the washer directly. And an operator's manual, which should have some instructions on putting it together, which I will glance over. Well, this is it. Tells you what's in the box, and it tells you how to attach the handle and accessory tray. Maybe the wheels are already on it. All right. Okay, so much for that. So what I did was I just dragged all that cardboard packing out of there, and I'm tipping it on the side. That little pouch is the engine oil, so it does not have engine oil in it yet. So now I'm just going to drag it out there and set it up. It does have the wheels on it. The spray wand is heavy. It's metal and then a heavy plastic on the other end. Just goes together. There's an O-ring in there, and it's a nice long one, which I like. That means you don't have to stoop over when you're using it. So moving right along, there's the hose that comes with it. So gas, oil. I popped the cover off this. This is an air cleaner. It has you're going to saturate this with oil. It's already got the oil on there. I can see it. Pull starter. It's got a switch, on-off switch before you do the, shut it off. Let's see. Got some pretty good sized wheels on it. Yeah, all right. So the black thing is the engine. Overhead valve, single cylinder gasoline engine. There's your exhaust muffler. And there's your pump down there. The silver thing is the pump. The inlet and an outlet. Okay, so right where my little finger is pointing, there your garden hose goes there. And then you will attach that sprayer, the spray hose will attach on the other side of where my finger is pointing, that other tube. And then the wand will go on the end of the hose. So let's let's put some oil in it. Yeah, I was just thinking one other thing at the beginning of where I was talking about electric versus gasoline. If you have a problem dealing with oil or gasoline, then you want to get the electric one. Froggy deals with plenty of oil and gasoline with the Corvettes and such, my chainsaw, and so it's not a problem for me. And so our first little hiccup here is they give you 18 ounces of oil, and the specs are for oil capacity, if you can read that, 20 ounces, so I'm 2 ounces short on that. 2 ounces out of 20 ounces, that's 10%. It's probably not going to blow up, but you know, it would be nice to get the full amount. I'm not even sure I'm going to dump it all in. I might dump 2/3 of it in and then measure it with a dipstick. There is a dipstick, a regular old, just like on your car, unless you have one of those ones that doesn't have a dipstick. But anyway, dipstick. You know, there is some oil in there. I took my flashlight and I looked down, and there was also just a speck of oil on the end of the dipstick. So maybe that's why they give you 18. But still, it would have been nice if some technical manual writer genius had mentioned that. Just would be nice. Okay, well, I dumped the whole thing in, and it went a little bit over the top hole, which I didn't like that especially, but I've got a feeling that as you fill it, then at the very end, a little bit goes a long way, and it makes it go up on the dipstick. So anyway, I'm not going to take any out. I think it's okay. If it starts blowing huge amounts of blue smoke, then I will imagine that I've overfilled it and I'll have to take some out. Let's put that cover back on the air filter and find some gasoline, and we got to put the handle on too. The knobs that hold the handle have a metal insert, so that's good, and they're big, so you can tighten them up good. And these are also designed so that you can loosen it up and fold this handle down out of the way for storage. Okay, I think we're there. So the long bolts go down here so that you can back this off and fold it, all right? The short bolts go up here to hold this tray on. Not a tray, this thing that holds the nozzles. Nozzles have a label showing you which nozzle goes where, which is nice. It also tells you a little bit. Red is the highest pressure, white is the lowest pressure, and the black is for soap. If you want to use the soap, they don't give you a bottle, which is a common complaint with everybody who buys this model. But the soap bottle, whatever you buy, the soap concentrate goes in that holder there. And the siphon tube goes down into the bottle. The little blue cap screws on the top of the bottle. And then it feeds into right there where I've got it attached. That black tip goes over the brassy outlet, which is for soap. It will suck the soap concentrate in there at the right. Some predetermined mixture, and it will spray out soap. Okay? Or if you were washing a car, for example, this is just a little sidebar, little side note. If you were washing a car, you could use these types of attachments, which are specific for washing cars. Okay, that and that. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. That's a different video. I've already done a video for you using the electric pressure washer. The only part we have left over was that, and that might be something you would use with soap. Maybe if you had a different size bottle, if you didn't have this exact size bottle and you had some other bottle, you could use that, maybe attach it up here. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So let's start it up. So this is how it shows the storage of the wand. Take it apart. I don't know, it doesn't look right to me, but that's where they tell you to put it. And this snaps in that holder really hard. It's hard to get it in there, but that, I guess it'll probably loosen up. And for the hose, the first loop you come to is just a loop to hold it onto the machine here, and then the second loop goes around the hose and comes up back through that end loop, and it's Velcro. Okay, I've got some gas there. I think it's 87 unleaded, and this probably calls for 85 minimum, so it should be okay. Probably got 10% ethanol, and that's supposed to be okay also. Sometimes I'll put a date on my tools. This goes in service 5/5 of 20, and it takes SAE 30 weight oil. I will probably change the oil after I've run it for a few hours. Internal combustion engine is going to have some very fine metal particulates that will migrate into the oil, and I have no idea if this has an oil filter on it. It has an air filter, but I don't know if it's got an oil filter, so I'm going to change the oil anyway. You can do what you want. I laid the hose out there in the sun to get the kinks out of it. I'm going to attach some water and pull on the starter. The instructions say before you put the tip on to get some water pressure and pull the trigger so that you see that there's some water coming through the wand. You don't want to run the water pump without water, so I think this is why they tell you that. And I don't get a full stream of water, which I wouldn't expect, but I'm getting a trickle, so I think we have a water connection. Let's start it up. Well, it took a couple of pulls, and I don't think it's ever been run before, so that's pretty good. A little bit loud, not extremely, but I might wear hearing protection when I'm running it. I put on the green nozzle, 25 degrees. There's a safety lever, a safety button. You have to push that to the side before you pull the trigger. And it kicks back at you so you can feel the pressure. I'm going to do a little section of the driveway here just for fun. And then I've got probably going to wrap it up. Well, okay, I'm going to wrap it. When you let off the trigger, there's like a I don't want to call it idling, but there's it was running a little bit rough when the first 10 minutes, but then it started smooth off. When you let off the trigger, it's supposed to go down to an idling thing, and I think it just needed to break in a little bit. Anyway, I did the whole driveway and a little bit of the side there. Time to knock off. Give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Ring the bell if you want notification. Be safe, have fun. Froggy out. Bye-bye. One last postscript. I don't think I mentioned price. The pressure washer, the electric pressure washer I spent about 150 bucks on it. This was on sale, and it was about $265. Hold on. $269. So yeah, this is more expensive, and you get more power. So there you go.